Thanks for staying with News at Prime. The My Candidate portal is a new online tool that helps voters familiarize themselves with the candidates vying for positions in this year's local government elections, even independents. The founder of the Open Cities Lab is Richard Gevers, who's joining us now to talk more about this. Richard, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Let's begin with your inspiration that led you to setting this up.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. So my organization, Open Cities Lab, is a non-profit that works for inclusive development and participatory democracy, focused on urban spaces. And so professionally, what we're really interested in is helping citizens connect to government, helping people understand what their rights are, how to access information around critical decision-making, how to bring government and citizens closer together. And I think certainly one of the most important things that is within the way that governance works in South Africa is to know who represents you in your council and who your ward councillor is and how your city makes decisions around service delivery and infrastructure development, around public interfaces and all those sort of things. And so we work in the space generally and inspired about that. But I think also personally, I was looking for trying to understand who was running my ward, and who to vote for in the upcoming elections. And, me and a group of friends were quite surprised at how hard it was to find information around who was running, and especially the fact that, I think often some parties like to represent the scene as if there's 2, 3, 4 parties. But in many wards, you'll have up to 20 candidates running from different spaces. And so we were quite excited to try and help everybody.
Richard, we're having a bit of a connectivity issue with you. I'm hoping we'll be able to persevere and get through some of the other points tonight, but just to let you know that there might be a bit of a delay between us, let's talk about the reaction from people. Are you finding South Africans are putting this to use?
Yes. So, and apologies about the connection issues. Perhaps one of the things that we need to think about. But what was very surprising to me was just how much the uptake of this app, how much it's been uptaken and used in the last week. It seems like a very simple thing, but I think it's really fundamental. What we've been finding a lot of responses around is surprise that candidates sometimes run in more than one wards, or an award list and a PR list. We have a blog written by Jody Allemeyer out on our site, and on Twitter you can find it on the Open Cities Lab, where it talks about how a council comes together, how votes work, how the split between ward and PR councillors is. And, I think that's really encouraging. There's a lot of good resources out there, because what we're finding is that people are using the app in quite a lot of numbers. It's being shared and spread quite broadly. And we're getting a lot of responses about, interest that there are more different candidates that are possible, interest in what comes up in the public search, because when one uses the app at mycandidate.opencities.org, it brings up the candidates in your ward and allows you to Google search off their names. And so whatever public information is available comes up about, the candidates that are running there. And so I think people are interested in finding out that, and we're asking people to share stories of information about candidates, but also understanding the way that your vote counts, and how voting is really critical. And then also, following up and being in touch with your representative who's meant to represent your needs in terms of service delivery, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the way that your city and your government interact with you over the next 5 years.
And do you have information on absolutely every single councillor candidate in the country?
So the data that is in the app is directly from the IEC. And what we've done is try to be very true to the data. We've had some requests for, for example, a candidate saying, could they put more information on? But what we would like to do is share directly what is shared and publicly available by the IEC of every single candidate that is running. And also we want it to be an equal platform. And so, we're not that interested in, people curating the information. I think what comes up on a public Google search is representative. Yeah. So there is is information on every candidate running in every ward, and the data is directly from the IEC, who releases this data openly.
Richard Gevers, so grateful for your time tonight. Founder of Open Cities Lab. They've got that tool that you can use now to get more information on the ward councillor candidates in your area. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Richard.
Thank you so much for having me.